Hi, good evening. My name is Dave Gagne. I'm the town administrator here for the town of West Bridgewater. And I'm going to bring to you a preview for the upcoming Board of Selectmen's meeting for August 15th, Wednesday night at 7 p.m. A couple of first appointments are going to be really nice events. One is going to be in honor to Miss Marion Leonard, who is the town's first female moderator. And then there will also be a little event ceremony as well for our fire chief who retired a handful of months ago, our former fire chief, Lenny Hunt. After we do those two, we will then move on to the Girl Scouts who have a project that they would like to present to the Board of Selectmen as part of their training. And then Steve McCarthy, who is the chairman of the assessors, is looking to have a conversation directly with the board as well. Our town clerk will be before the Board of Selectmen, letting them know that there is a joint session between the town clerk's office and the ADA committee, and hope to inform the public if you do have any ADA disabilities or any other disabilities that there are special voting machines specifically for you that are just as easy to use as a traditional voting machine. There are a handful of employment ratifications that the Board of Selectmen, acting as the personnel board, will ratify, and then a couple of contracts, one for the town hall cleaning and the other one is for town-wide auditing services that the Board of Selectmen will ratify as well. There'll be a site plan review for the Shell gas station up on Route 106. And then although it is still summer, election season is just around the corner. The primary will be held in September, and so the town clerk is requesting the selectmen to sign the warrant as required by law. There will be a discussion about videotaping and audio taping both in the town hall and also videotaping of all meetings. As you know, the Board of Selectmen and other committees and boards are currently being on cable, being videotaped and audio taped, but not all of them. So the Board of Selectmen will undergo that discussion. And then our local Chamber of Commerce, our Metro South Chamber, is always looking to try to secure grants from the town, from the state. And in order to do so, they receive a letter from all the local boards, and our chairman of our Board of Selectmen, Anthony Kinahan, has signed it, so it'll just be before the board, so that's an FYI to them. The Consumer Affairs Division will have an FYI to the Board of Selectmen as the licensing authority for Class 2 used car dealer licenses, so that'll be an FYI to them. And also, unfortunately, a couple of resignations from our local committees, both very good very good residents who have been very helpful to the town. They have placed in their resignation letters. I will be before the selectmen asking to be named department head and legal administrator. And then the selectmen normally have their employee appreciation day in August. This year will be in September. So again, just they're going to ratify that date and vote. At the last meeting, the Board of Selectmen revoked the liquor license for Malarkey's, better known as Little Buck, down on Route 106. That has gone before the ABCC, which is the state regulatory authority, and Malarkey's has appealed that decision. So again, just an FYI to the board so they're aware. And the Friends of the Library, which is the fundraising arm of our local library, is going to have a one-day event, so they need to get some approvals from the board. And then the last is, under that section, there'll be a discussion on digital storage. Like every entity, we are starting to run out of room. Many of the state laws still require hard copies, but is there something that we can do to potentially transfer everything over to digital and attempt to archive it from there? There is a barbecue pavilion behind the fire department that is in total disrepair, so there'll be a conversation with the board as to what we should do with that, with a recommendation from the fire chief. There are a couple of proposed bylaws. One is for storage trailers and the other one is in reference to windmills in town. And last year, there was a conversation with the Board of Selectmen where they acted on not appointing people to the bylaw study committee, and I think that the board is going to entertain potentially bringing that back. Under my report, a couple of years ago, town meeting approved our ability to aggregate electricity on behalf of residents in town. So that contract is now over, and so I'm going to be looking to go to RFP, which is a request for proposal, to see if we can get another bidder in town. So I'll have that conversation with the board. At our last meeting, we went into executive session on a handful of legal matters, all of which have basically been resolved. So it's just going to be an update to the board, informing them in pursuant to the open meeting law. Since it was in executive session, it will now be fully disclosed in open session. I will also update the board as to where we are with the East Street, East Center Street project, which is East Street and Route 106, installing the lights down that section of town. And River Street traffic study analysis. A handful of months ago, a resident on River Street and South Street, or South Elm Street, requested that we do something in River Street because of the flow of traffic. So we've asked the police department to do a 2-month study, and the results are in, so we'll provide that information to the board. There is a 40B project up on Belmont Street, and at the last handful of meetings, there's been discussions about an easement that goes over town property that allows the developer to be able to access Belmont Street, so that all the correspondence from the respective attorneys will be before the board, and we will provide that information to the board. And the last is that it has been 1 year since the town has officially purchased Riverbend Golf Course, so I'll provide an update to the board as to where we stand and whether or not the new management company has been compliant with its obligations. So with that said, there will be no executive session. It is open to the public. You are more than welcome to attend. As noted earlier, it is at 7 o'clock on Wednesday night, August 15th, and it is in the Board of Selectmen's meeting chamber on the 2nd floor. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a good evening.